My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake. Welcome. Happy Monday. I am so excited to get this week started. I can barely contain myself. Look, it is the 21st. It is Monday. You know, so many people, they look down on Monday. But I really think it's one of the cool things about life is we get so many second chances, and every single Monday is a second chance to get it right. And if you think about it that way, it won't be so draggy. Anyways, I'm glad to have you here. It's a happy South Lake morning, and I am just really stoked to get started. What are we going to talk about today? Today we are going to talk about National Pumpkin Cheesecake Day. We're going to talk about vacation planning. This goes out to you, Miss Pat, my beautiful beloved wife, in whom I am very well pleased. We're going to have a cup of Joe, and we have a theme this week. Our theme this week is resistance, so you have to stay tuned from that. And we're going to finish up the show with an amazing person, a guy I actually met somewhat by accident. He's in the studio with us today. His name is Steve Bush. He works with 323 Staffing Solutions. We're going to talk about that and some of the wonderful things in the community and how a private business is helping solve a serious community issue. So we're going to hear from our family of sponsors. This is an amazing show. You need to stay tuned. You need to have this information. So when we come back, we'll get started. See you in a minute.
Hello, I'm Mary Rhodes with the Mortgage Firm, your local mortgage lender. I've helped thousands of families achieve the dream of homeownership in Lake County, and I would love to help you. Please read our reviews and visit us at mortgagefirmpros.com.
Welcome to Erica's Tea Room. Located in the heart of downtown Clearmont, this specialty tea shop offers a traditional high tea experience that can be enjoyed with family and friends. While here, you can choose from over 100 teas from all over the world, and a multitude of teapots are available for purchase. Join us for lunch or choose from one of our special evening events. Call to make a reservation. Erica's Tea Room, making memories with every cup.
Man, I love hearing from our family of sponsors. And you know what? I really like Erica's Tea Room. You should get yourself down there, grab some tea, bring a couple of people with you. If you're a bunch of ladies, hey, you know what, men? We can drink tea too. And Erica's scones are not to be believed. So need to get yourself in there and utilize these businesses that sponsor the show. With that said, let's get started. It is National Pumpkin Cheesecake Day. Now, look, pumpkin flavoring is something, you either love it or you hate it. There's no in between, right? You're either really down with this. The pumpkin spice latte comes out this time of year. You either really love it or you really hate it. My wife is a hater. She hates all the pumpkin stuff. We don't get, the first couple of years we were married, Thanksgiving, I'd get pumpkin pie. I found out that she didn't like pumpkin pie. We don't get pumpkin pie anymore. If I want pumpkin pie, I got to go to somebody else's house. Now, I'm a lover of pumpkin pie. Can't tell there's anything I don't love, right? I'm a lover of pumpkin pie, a little bit of whipped cream. It's cool. But here's the thing. I don't like a lot of these fake pumpkin flavors. My real issue with pumpkin cheesecake is it's October. Can we at least wait till November? Can we get into actual pumpkin eating season? October is pumpkin carving season, not pumpkin eating season. Anyways, that's my take. What about you, Jay? Do you like pumpkin?
I do, depending on, I like pumpkin pies. Pumpkin spice latte, not so much. My wife kind of tends to go in the direction that your wife goes. She's not a huge pumpkin flavor fan. Do you not consider October not fall enough for the pumpkin, Joe?
Not for pumpkin eating. Pumpkin eating. See, my house.
No consumption.
No consumption.
You can celebrate the pumpkin, just don't consume it.
See, here's the thing. We live in Florida, so if you carve a jack-o'-lantern, you carve a pumpkin, it's starting to go bad by the time Halloween gets here. But I grew up in New England,
Right.
Okay, so you could carve it. And what you did with the pumpkin when you were done carving it, and Halloween was over, you didn't carve the pumpkin like a month out. When I grew up, that pumpkin carving was like a week, 10 days, maybe 2 weekends before. And then when Halloween was over, then Grandma, who had frozen the pumpkin seeds or roasted them and dried them, that's when that stuff came. She'd pull that pumpkin in and then she'd cook it into things. That's why I think of November. I really think pumpkin is more of a Thanksgiving, November food, personally.
Well, I'd really like to get your thoughts on the Christmas decorations going up in different types of communities within our fine South Lake community. We'll have to do that on a different show because I have a feel that might end up in quotations and might turn into a rant. So we'll have to address that maybe sometime next week when Christmas really gets
Brother
into
man,
full swing.
I have an entire plan for that conversation. It's a conversation in my house every single year. Okay, vacation planning. Look, if you are in a married couples usually fall down on two ways. One part of the couple, when we talk about vacations, wants to go, shoot from the hip, pocket full of money, let's see what happens, sit by the pool, lays on the beach. The other part of the family wants to plan every single minute. My wife is one of those planners. Okay, I am not. I am the shoot from the hip guy. I don't think that planning every minute is called a vacation. I got to plan every minute in my regular life. So that's not a break for me. So here's the thing. My wife and I have been married a long time, and it's actually become funny to us. Used to cause a lot of friction, though. So here's what we've learned to do. If I'm getting stressed at running around, I have to get honest enough to say, hey, I need a day or two by the pool. Can we just chill today and not do it? You know, do we have to go spend $500 doing something nobody cares about? Or can we just like hang out and be together? And I had the blessing of my wife's had some family coming to town, and so we brought the kids together because we don't get to see this guy much. And we got to take a couple of days at a hotel in Orlando, which is only a few minutes away from me now, 30 minutes. It was kind of cool. And I had to come back into town to do some work, but she got to stay there. Yesterday was that day, and I really appreciated, she could see the stress on my face when she looked at me and said, honey, do you just want to take the day by the pool and like order in sandwiches? And that's what I was like, oh my God. And then the best part was she had plans with her family, and you know, we're going to go to one of these sleuth dinners, we're going to go to City Walk, and she was okay with me saying, sweetie pie, is it okay if I don't go? And she was totally down with that. And I really, really appreciated it. My point to vacation planning is, you know, it doesn't have to be one or the other. It doesn't have to be all shoot from the hip. Or now, I don't know from people who aren't married in long-term relationships. Longest term relationship I was ever in is my marriage. I think the longest relationship I ever had before that was like 3-4 months. You know, I had a couple of relationships that were 3 days, but that's a whole nother story. But it doesn't have to be. My wife is cool with planning some of it, very sensitive to me. I'm sensitive to her with the, she does need to do some organized events. So if you're going on vacation, be sensitive to the other side of that coin. Because you may find by doing something that the other side of the coin likes to do, you might find some enjoyment yourself. Okay, that probably hit Jay's ears.
Come again?
Cup of Joe. This week, I want to talk about resistance. You know, last week, Jay and I got some unexpected resistance from an unexpected source in running the station, and I had to take a couple of days and process it and work with it. And I thought this week we were going to talk about resistance and really the best ways to deal with it. Now, in our society today, in our culture, let's face it, with the political climate, you've got people who really, they're proud of being the resistance, and other people that think, you know, if you're part of the resistance, you're anti-America. You know, comes down to, in the United States, we have a long history of political resistance, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about personal resistance and conflict. So we're going to talk this week about some real skills and some real ways to maybe get through some of the personal resistance, personal conflict that we might see. So I want you to stay tuned this week. Again, we're going to deep dive each day of the week, and we'll get through this together, okay? Just know that if you're in a personal conflict, if you're feeling resistance from something or someone in your life, there are answers and solutions, and the best way to find them out, tune in to Cup of Joe every day on Joe Knows South Lake. All right, we are going to go to a commercial break. We're going to hear from our family of sponsors once again, and when we come back, we are going to have Steve Bush, who is I want to get his title right, he is the Business Development Executive for 323 Staffing Solutions. This is going to be a fascinating interview. You really need to stay tuned, because if you are looking for a job, or you know somebody who is unemployed and looking for a job, or you know somebody who owns a business who's having a hard time finding employees, you need to hear some of what he has to say. So actually all of what he has to say. So stay tuned. We're going to go to commercial break. We'll see you in a minute. See you then.
Hello, I'm Mary Rhodes with the Mortgage Firm, your local mortgage lender. I've helped thousands of families achieve the dream of homeownership in Lake County, and I would love to help you. Our team has over 30 years of experience helping first-time homebuyers, veterans, move-up buyers, seasoned investors, and more. Please read our reviews and visit us at mortgagefirmpros.com.
The best things in life aren't items we can grab and hold. They are the moments that grab and hold us. Moments that captivate us, inspire us, and enrich us. Moments that bring joy, strength, and peace. At Sing Insurance and Financial Services, we help you to treasure these times by being there when life's most difficult moments arise. Through our services, you will find independence, flexibility, health, and security that will prosper and protect your life. Whether you are driving that new car, buying that new home, opening that new business, or building a new family, we provide you the peace of mind and freedom to enjoy life's best things. Your next moment is waiting. Are you ready?
Welcome to Erica's Tea Room. Located in the heart of downtown Clearmont, this specialty tea shop offers a traditional high tea experience that can be enjoyed with family and friends. While here, you can choose from over 100 teas from all over the world, and a multitude of teapots are available for purchase. Join us for lunch or choose from one of our special evening events. Call to make a reservation. Erica's Tea Room, making memories with every cup.
Purchasing a home? Hi, I'm Mary Rhodes with the Mortgage Firm, your local direct lender for FHA, VA, conventional, and USDA mortgages. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, a seasoned investor, or looking to purchase a vacation home, we can help. Visit our website today for more information.
And welcome back. Once again, hearing from our family of sponsors always touches my heart, because these are the people that believe in me. They're also the people that have amazing businesses, because we vet every single one of them. And speaking of businesses, we do have a Spotlight sponsorship spot available. Please let me know. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. For right now, I want to welcome Steve Bush to the show.
Hi, Joe.
Hi. Steve and I think we bumped into each other at a Panera Bread, didn't we?
Yeah, Chamber of Commerce to start with.
Chamber of Commerce to start with, and then saw each other at a I think we met each other at a Chamber of Commerce, and I bump into everybody at Panera Bread. And I bumped into him. We got to talking, and I said, I got to get this guy on the show. Okay. And so we were able to put it together. Steve is the Business Development Executive for 320. It is 323 or 323, yes, right? Staffing Solutions. He is on the board of directors of Farm Credit Mid-America, which is, did you say the largest agricultural financing?
It's actually the second largest agricultural bank. We have $22 billion in assets that we're managing. So,
So basically, they finance American agriculture. So whether you're a small farmer, needs to buy a farm, needs money to operate the farm, big agricultural concerns, they provide the finance. That's quite a niche, specialized. He is the past administrative pastor for Real Life Christian Church. I know you're all familiar with Real Life. He is the point man for the leadership development program of Real Life Christian Church. And he is a certified John Maxwell leadership coach. And I know from previous conversations that you've done quite a bit in your lifetime and career. While we have not talked much about your past career in leadership and developing leaders and being a CEO and a manager of things, of your own companies and corporations, that sort of thing. We're going to actually take a little bit of a different track here. I was talking to Steve, and we found some issues that I wanted to touch on first. Now, as the administrative pastor for Real Life Church, Steve was a key component in getting the Hope Center started and off the ground. Yeah. And I'd like to talk a little bit about that. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I'd love to.
Let me ask, tell us a little bit about what the Hope Center is.
Yes. While I was on staff at Real Life, I had the opportunity to participate in a number of different areas, and one of it was experiencing the good work that they do in supporting food and Christian counseling in our community. We've had hundreds of hours of counseling that we do free at Real Life for the community. And we gave nearly 1 million meals away last year, including the kids' pack of food in this community. And one of the things that I witnessed there was through the food program, almost every time that I had a chance to talk to one of those individuals, the question came up, do you know of anybody that's hiring? And all we could really offer was we would pray for you and point them towards people like Goodwill who do good work and could help them. But we didn't have any tangible way of helping them. And so it was about 3 years ago, we were able to connect 323 Staffing Solutions with Real Life to provide a more tangible solution to that problem. And so today, when people ask us that question, we can say, well, we're going to pray for you, but fill out an application here and we're going to find you a job too through the staffing company. 323 Staffing is a for-profit business. It operates in a capacity where it is affiliated with Real Life, but no formal, merger or joint venture or anything like that. 323 Staffing, it's a faith-based company. The owners have a strong faith, and that's the principles by what we guide, by the way the company is guided. Well, earlier
let me interrupt you just for a second. I thought one of the things, I thought the title was cool. Let's tell the viewers where that 323 comes from.
That's a great question, Joe. 323 Staffing Solutions. 323 is Colossians 3:23. Colossians 3:23 tells us to work as if we were looking for the Lord Jesus and not for mere man. So that's the foundation
great
for the
principle to base a staffing company on. I mean, just probably creates a culture, a company culture, as well as a culture of your employees to live up to when you're staffing for other businesses. Let me back up a little bit. We talked about the Hope Center, and I understand part of what you now do at the Hope Center isn't just counseling for life's problems, and you do a lot of employment counseling there, right? I mean, I understand that they are starting an expungement. I mean, because the labor pool in Lake County, one of the things that it suffers from is a high percentage of criminal record, and unfortunately, that criminal record can be 20 years ago. I mean, 10 years ago when you applied for a job, the question on the application was, have you been convicted of a felony in the last 7 years? Today, that question is, have you ever been arrested?
Yes.
So they're two completely different. We see this in real estate too. It's two completely different questions. And I understand one of the things that I thought was neat about the Hope Center is you're helping people. Tell us about how you help them get a job, but tell us about the expungement service as well.
Well, let me back up and maybe frame the Hope Center. I'm not sure all of the audience knows what's going on with the Hope Center. Both here in Claremont and in Central Florida, or Central Orlando, we're opening a center where all of these services would be housed in one place. The food services, the food pantry, the counseling, expungement, perhaps some legal services and support, and these job services are going to be at a one-stop shop for people that need hope. And it's a place where they can go and get help in many different ways. And so 323 Staffing Solutions will be a part of that initiative, both here in Claremont and in Orlando. 323
Specifically on
will
the
be
employment
specifically for
side,
the job
right?
side, yes. And we certainly offer job counseling, but it's more than that. We help them find jobs. We help those people that are looking for employment to find the work that they're looking for.
I'd like you to define a little better job counseling, because so many times the minute the average person hears counseling, they think loser who's just milking the system. And so many times, I understand you're giving skills. Tell us what kind of things the counseling tends to teach.
Well, counseling basically fundamentally actually deals with the interview process so that they can present themselves in an appropriate and best light when they're interviewing for a position. The one unique thing about, well, there's three different unique things about our staffing company. And one is that we actually interview face-to-face every candidate before we send them to a client, a business. One of our business partners, if they're looking for a specific position, they give us a job description. And we'll sit down with the candidates, and we may have to pour through 20 candidates to find one or two maybes. And when we find those one or two maybes that are right for that position, we bring them in and we talk to them and we vet them before we send them to the client. The one thing that's so important for a business owner today is get the right person in the right seat in the organization. And they don't have time to be sorting through those 20 or 30 applicants. We do that work for them. But I think the point I want to make is that we have a chance to interview and meet with and counsel those individuals so we can discern whether they're right for that position, and then help them present themselves in the best way to the client.
So one of the things I think is cool about you guys, we'll talk for a second about what delineates you, but that concept that, there are other staffing companies out there, right?
Yes, there are.
But a great many of them, when they're dealing with the employees, they're only taking in applications. They're not actually, and then sending a bunch of people for the other guy to field through.
Correct.
I think one of the things that's really cool about the concept of interviewing everybody is you might be interviewing people for a position I have.
Yes.
But while you're doing that interview, there might be 4 people that aren't good for me, but they're good for the other guy over here who has also asked you the same thing. So you're able to utilize this so somebody can come to you as an employee. It's not just the businesses that are getting all their needs met. An employee can come to you and know that when they're in the interview, they don't have to go through 19 interviews with 19 employers. They come to you and they're giving one interview.
That's right.
And being plugged into whatever employers
That's right.
they qualify for. So,
And that's why people today that are looking for jobs will tend to look to staffing companies like 323 Staffing Solutions, because they can put their application in once and know that we're working with several clients to be able to eventually get them placed in the right position that's good for them and for that for the employer.
So here in Central Florida, we have a very low unemployment.
Yes.
Right. I mean,
yes.
What is it?
It's about 3.2%, and we got 2.5 million people in
Now,
this
and we
great
talked
area.
is that is of people who want a job.
Yes.
There are some people, you have to realize there are some people that are chronically unemployed because they don't want to be employed.
Correct.
So, and we're not talking about the underemployed. We're specifically talking about unemployed people. When you guys take on a business,
Yes.
I mean, what is your perfect business? Who do you feel you can help the most? And I know everybody always says, well, we can help everybody. But who do you think benefits the most? Is it the guy with 200 employees and he has a constant turnover? Is it the guy, the small dry cleaner and he's trying to fill 12 spots, but he'd love to find somebody who's going to last a year or two?
Well, I can tell you this. We are serving some very large organizations, and we're serving organizations that we need one person. The very large organizations are using staffing companies for different reasons. Maybe it's seasonal work. One client that we have is a third-party vendor at Disney, and we've become the priority provider of people because of what I just said. We send them people that are fit for appropriately fit for that job. So we're serving that role. We have people that are laborers that are just working for, that are unskilled, and we're serving that market. We have professionals we've placed in the legal and the medical field, so it's a whole gamut. I would say personally, I think the best opportunity is for organizations that have maybe 20 or less employees because of the massive amount of time it takes to go in and search the field of available candidates out here and be able to find that right person. It just takes a huge amount of time. And for most small business people, they don't have the time to do that. They're sacrificing the time they could be spent growing their business to be pouring through these applications. So it's a very good way.
It's expensive too.
It's a very good way of handing off that human resource need that company has. So, but we serve both the large and the small. But I think honestly, the 20 to 30 or less employees is probably a sweet spot for us.
Do you know, it's funny, as a realtor, I provide a service for my clients who are business owners. And what I am is I'm the housing advisor for their business, which means that it allows them to have a company, it allows them to have an employee benefit.
Yes.
That at no cost to them,
Yes.
at no cost to the employee. And part of it is we found that if an employee is a homeowner, they will last longer and work harder than if they're a renter. So,
Sure.
And I get a lot of guys take advantage of this service because the thing a business owner hates the most is finding new employees.
It's tough. It's tough.
It is.
It takes a lot of time, and if you don't find that right employee, it's just an incredible process.
We've just wasted all that time and money.
Start all over again.
You want to, I know a guy who hires 4 people. When he needs one position filled,
Yes.
he'll put out the feelers and he'll hire 4 to 5 people, knowing only one of them will last.
Exactly.
I
think a couple other things that are worth mentioning too that makes us different. You asked about differentiating. I think another.
That's my next question, actually. What differentiates you?
I think another thing, in addition to the personal interviews with every candidate, I think another important thing is that we are a relatively small company, and that works in advantage of the client, the business owner, the employer, because we can give special attention where it's not a situation where we have a massive amount of clients and just another number on the list. We can give special attention. The other part of that, and closely related, is this is a local company. It's locally owned. It's private. It's not a corporation in that we have a lot of guidelines and rules and regulations. We do have policies and so forth in place, but if we have to make a policy adjustment to satisfy the needs on how a client would like to work with us, a business owner, we can make that adjustment with a simple phone call. So in a matter of minutes, we can tailor a program that fits the needs of our clients without having to try to fit a one-size-fits-all
So
in
you
every
can
situation.
truly create a custom employment program.
Yes.
For a business owner,
Absolutely.
Who has those needs. That's
Absolutely.
great, man. That's great. Let me ask you this. We're starting to run out of time a little bit. I wanted to ask you very quickly to, the one question I want to ask that I want to make sure I get in before we run out of time is, we talked about the business owners,
Yes.
but obviously you need employees to give to those owners. Are you handling people that maybe they don't need a large education and they're doing manual labor, unskilled labor, or are you placing mostly executive professionals? Is it pretty much even? Where do you fall on that? Who are you looking for to come to you to find a job?
Yeah. It's certainly across the board is the answer to that question, Joe. We handle all of that from the professional down to the day labor. The one thing that we most need right now is businesses that would like to partner with our organization for employment purposes. What we do, basically how the program works, is once we engage with a business owner, then we will go in the marketplace and we will seek those employees that are right for that business. We have people coming to us all the time as well, and we will, as the employees come to us looking for work, or the potential employees, we will try to find them a good spot within our partners that we have. What's key to us right now is increasing the number of business partners that we have. So our desire would be to get our message out to the community that we have this organization, and we're very proud of it. And we think we can do, and we've demonstrated we can do great good with this. The business has been in existence for 5 years now, so it's not a startup business. It very much has a track record.
This is your camera over here. Why don't you? We have your website. I'm sure Jay is about to bring up. How do people tell people how to get in touch with you if they have a business and they want to partner with you, and if they're an employee and they want to be proactive and reach out to you? Do they do it here through the site? What can be found here?
Okay. On the site, obviously they can express their interest, and we get people all the time coming to the site. But if you wanted to reach me directly, it's Steve at 323staffingsolutions.com. Steve at 323staffingsolutions.com. Just simply send me your interest, and we can set up a time and sit down and have a cup of coffee, or just have a conversation about your personal needs there. Our desire is to help our community by getting people who need work placed into positions where owners are looking for people that can fill those roles.
And just so people know, are you guys compensated by the employer,
right?
Or do you take a piece of what the employee gets?
We don't take anything from the employee.
Okay, great. That was what I wanted to get out in the open.
Thank you. No, we have a financial agreement with the employer, and it's too complicated.
I get it.
But the employee.
That was what I wanted, was the employee who's paying, because some services are charging the employee.
We're not.
Not
okay,
great. You know what, guys? Thanks, Steve. I really appreciate this. Look, work that the Hope Center is doing is very, very important. We can talk in some detail about all of this, but again, we've run out of time. What I would encourage you to do is to reach out to Steve. If you're trying to find a job, he can plug you in. Look, if you have any questions about some of these programs, you can always reach out to Joe. So please, I encourage you. The Hope Center is there at the Real Life Church. Those people are real sweet. I know if you call their main number, they can direct you very well. You can call Steve or actually reach out to him in an email. You can certainly utilize their website. All of these things. If you need a job, or you really should, if you have a business, take that off your shoulders. Rich people are very good at leveraging their time. I'm pretty sure guys like Mark Cuban aren't hiring their own assistants. So at any rate, I want to say thanks to Steve for coming on out. Look, if you know somebody who should be a guest here on Joe Knows South Lake, I'd like you to reach out to me. Jay has the information up. You can call me, you can text me, you can email me. Also, if you know anybody who should be advertising here, and you should be advertising here if you own a business, I do have some spotlight sponsorships available. Your logo can appear here on every episode of Joe Knows South Lake, 5 days a week, and all the recordings. Don't miss that. That's important. With all that said, I would like to encourage you that there is greatness inside you. And as our guest has once again shown, it's possible to show the world that greatness. And I encourage you today, dare to be great. Dare to show your greatness to the world and to bring out greatness in others. I will see you tomorrow. I've had a great time. I hope you do too. I'll see you later, and I love you. Bye-bye. My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe Knows South Lake.